Hey up guys, and welcome to another video in the series Star Players. I'm going to redo this video to talk about this Chaos team a little bit more, go into a little bit more detail. High team value, this team, lots of good players, lots of different ways to approach your Chaos team. Really are a great team to create, when you get to high level and you start injuring opposition sides, killing the players, scoring touchdowns, that kind of thing. They really are a fun team to play. This team was created against AI. It was my first go at Chaos, and I wanted to sort of get to grips with them, play my AI opponents, and then I created a multiplayer team once I was confident enough to go ahead with that and choose ways of actually developing them. So we'll open them up and we'll go through them, talk about them a little bit, strengths and weaknesses, that sort of thing, mistakes I've made or whether I have made any mistakes. Give us a bit of feedback if you feel like it, and let us know what you think about the team. Got some decent roles on this side, and it is really helpful with a sort of Chaos side. You will get them. Majority of them you sort of get on your Beastmen. You do get the odd one of your Chaos Warriors getting extra strength, that kind of thing. Anyway, we'll go through that in a bit more depth, as I say. We'll start with the Mino, and we'll open him up and have a look. Really like this model. I have to say, I love the look of the Minotaur. I like it even more when he's got his mutations. Brilliant model. In your starting roster, you probably want to go your 4 Chaos Warriors and then fill your 11 up with Beastmen and then go with some rerolls and not take one of these guys, if at all. They are unreliable, like most of your big guys, and you tend to have to blitz or actually do a block action with these guys, because of their wild animal. It is hard to get them to move. You need a 4+ for them to actually move into squares. So majority of the time you sort of, is roaring away and not moving. I'm not moving, kind of thing. But I do like having them in the Chaos team, and I think they come in really handy in high team value Chaos side. And they get a lot of really good skills to put on them. That's another reason why I like them. And the opening skills aren't that bad. The guys have horns, brilliant for your blitzing, same as on your Beastmen, and Frenzy, which is a fantastic skill to have on one of your big guys. I think there's only this fella and the Yeti that has it, and I do like the two. I probably prefer the Yeti because he also has, he has access to claw to start off with. So, it's sort of one of them with the, you don't have access to claw on any other of your North players. So, I tend to go with the Yeti. Plus he's got strength 5 in the North team. But talking about Chaos, look at his skills here and what I've given him, what sort of way I've developed him here. And I've gone Claw straight off to go with his Mighty Blow. Gets him a lot more points, he advances a lot quicker, becomes a more handy player, gets the injuries, gets the kills with his Claw Mighty Blow. You're looking at getting double on these guys as soon as possible, so you can get your block. And then if you get another one, you can look at other things. I'd say as in his ability rolls, you're probably only wanting strength, maybe armour, to shore him up that little bit more. I mean, if I got extra movement or armour on the roll of 10, I probably would go armour on this one, with him being only armour 8. It does make him more vulnerable to it, to enemy blocks. Does make him easier to injure, that type of thing. So I'd like to shore him up. I think movement 5 is not that bad. And you've got plenty of movement 6, you know, to do your defending, to do your sweeping, that sort of thing in this team anyway. Then I'm going guard. Brilliant skill to have on these guys again. I'd say it's your first strength access skill that you want to take. I'll touch Juggernaut here on him next, and that's just to sort of nullify the fact that he's not got a block or not got a double, so chosen block. So when I blitz with him, you're not risking the turnovers with your 2 dive, 3 dive blocks because of the Juggernaut skill. You're not risking the, having to take loner and fail that as well, losing your rerolls, that type of thing. Next skill, tentacles, excellent on these guys. It goes hand in hand with the strength 5, and then versus AI opponents, it ties the enemy players up. They can't get away. They don't try and move away from you as AI opponents to get away from the tentacles. So his strength comes in really handy. The tentacles comes in really handy. Plus it makes them look awesome, doesn't it? It really does. I mean, I like this armour on this Chaos team. A really good armour choice. Really nice colour scheme on these guys. Anyway, next we've gone Disturbing Presence. I probably sort of messed up here. I think I should have gone Stand Firm on him next. Before taking, Disturbing Presence. It doesn't really come in hand, that useful, but it is worth, in Nurgle team, you've got sort of so many players with this starting off, and it does come in handy against your agility based teams like your Elves and your Skaven, that kind of thing. Play, teams that tend to pass the ball, that kind of thing. So I chose Disturbing Presence just to get one of them in the side. I wouldn't take it on any of my Chaos Warriors, and I don't know as if I'd take it on the Mino again, in all honesty, but there we go. It's sort of a choice I've made there. He's got 1 skill up to go, so I mean, if I don't get a double on this guy and take block, I'll be looking at Stand Firm. But he's still a useful player, still a handy player. And let's move on to the Chaos Warriors. We've got loads of guys here looking to level up to the last couple skills or final skill, and we'll go through them, the choices I've made there. I like the choice you get with this team, I have to say. And I think I prefer Chaos to Nurgle, to be perfectly honest. Your high team value Nurgle are probably more effective because, when you get your injuries, you've got your regen, haven't you? So you've got more chance of more players that get injured coming back. Then with your Chaos, you just get the 1 apple. But I'd say majority of the time, you with this team, you're the one injuring players. You're the one that's sort of doing all the injuries, doing all the kills, unless you're facing a really strong sort of mirror match against Chaos or against Nurgle, that type of thing. Maybe against Orcs, Dwarves, a few other bashy teams, high value, can cause you a bit of damage. But another reason I prefer them is these guys. Much more versatile players, much more useful players, your Chaos Warriors than your Nurgle Warriors. And it's your starting stats that I prefer. It's my extra movement. I've got movement 5 instead of your Nurgle movement 4. Strength's the same. Really good, strong players, these. Brilliant to have 4 of these guys in the team that have got, high skill or got up to a decent level like this guy. Then they've got agility 3 compared to your Nurgle agility 2. Great to have. got a much higher chance of picking the ball up, catching the ball, doing something handy towards the end, opponent's end zone. Sorry, the cat's just talking to me a little bit here, so you have to bear with me. But anyway, I mean, this guy developed him, giving him block. Really good skill to get on these guys early on. I'd put it on a few of you guys early on your block, and then maybe look at developing the other ones with the mighty blow, claw, sort of tackle skills, just so they develop, or so they become a little bit more handy in, reducing the enemy team's numbers down a little bit quicker. But I mean, block and then going mighty blow isn't shabby, and it does reduce your risk of your turnovers, your re-rolls being used, that type of thing, having the block in there for your 2 dice, blocks with these guys, because you're going to get plenty of them. So yeah, I've gone block, mighty blow, claw, tackle, 4 fantastic skills, easy skills to access. You've got tons of useful skills to pick on these guys, but you have got other ways of developing, as you'll see in this team. And then he's got dodge. As I've said in the last, videos, brilliant to get dodge on these guys. If they get the extra agility and then dodge, you can look at creating these guys, making them a really tricky, really useful sort of agility player. I know they haven't got really high movement, but with the extra strength and having all those agility skills, they become really good ball carriers. But this guy, having the dodge and having all the aggressive skills to go with it, your tackle, your claw, your mighty blow, it becomes a much more solid all-round player. Harder to knock down, harder to injure. So I mean, your double rolls on these guys, I'd always take dodge, even if he's just agility 3 for that basis. His final skill, there's a few ways we could go there. And he's not a frenzy guy, which is really handy to have as well. But with so many beastmen in your team, you probably don't need to develop your your Chaos Warriors in that way. So, I'd probably put guard on this guy, stand firm. There's a few other skills that you could sort of put on him, piling on. But I'd like to have the jump up with piling on. So other mutations, I mean, let's just have a quick look through them while we're on him. Mutation, I can't actually open it up, but with the dodge, you could probably consider 2 heads. Then he is a bit more like an agility 4 player. With his dodge, and then with his +1 on all dodge rolls, it does become more elf-like, which would be really handy. I mean, you could consider also break tackle maybe, to go with his dodge. It'd be another good skill to take to make him an absolute legend. Let's go on to our next guy and open him up. And here you are, you see I've got +1 on agility, and it gives this guy more choice, more sort of, he is a bashy player. He's going to get you injuries, and look at his star player points that he's been able to get with these skills. It just shows you can go both ways with these guys, and having extra agility in your Chaos team, it's so useful. It's so handy, and getting it on these guys, I know some of you probably wouldn't take it, but I mean, if you let me know sort of what you think about this, because I think this is a really useful player, a really good player. And you look at the other roles he's got here. He's got a double for his agility dodge. He's got a double for his agility sidestep. Brilliant player. And then he's got general block, and then I've got another agility there, double. So he's had a characteristic upgrade, 3 doubles. I mean, he's got 1 skill to go, and you've got to be looking at 2 heads for this guy, haven't you? I don't think there's anything else that, you know, I mean, Shawhands maybe making him an even better bar carrier where strip ball can't sort of do anything. You know, I could put Mighty Blow on him too, so, but I mean, I think Mighty Blow claw tackle would be a better way to go, you know, and there's other players in the team that have got that. So this guy is, you know, really useful player, really handy to have these kind of skill ups on one of your Chaos Warriors. I like to develop one of the guys like this, and you know, this guy has got the sidestep, he's got the dodge, he's got the jump up. He's just, you know, if you can choose these skills as like an elf to have well, you mean, I know the elf's going to have more movement, but he's got strength 4, agility 4, and then he's got the extra armour. Such a good player, such a go-to player. He gets tons of touchdowns. So it's really good to have one of these guys and get touchdowns with them, and develop your players, you know, your Chaos Warriors in that way. Right, let's have a look at our next Chaos Warrior. Talk about him a little bit. Again, you see I've gone block first, then I've gone Mighty Blow, claw, tackle. I mean, if these guys didn't have the claw, you'd go Mighty Blow, tackle, wouldn't you, and then something else. But I mean, having the Mighty Blow, you want the claw to go with the Mighty Blow. It just turns him into such a powerful player. Then you've got the claw pun with his piling on there, and he's got one final skill to go. So I mean, to make him the perfect killer, you'd want jump up there on his final skill, which would be a double. But I mean, I'd take plenty of other skills there on this guy for his final level up. I don't think it'd be likely to get a double, but I mean, if I got an extra strength there, that'd be fantastic. General skills to go with that setup, I don't think there really is any. I'd be looking at a strength skill, maybe banging another guard in, or a juggernaut maybe as well, or maybe a frenzy. So that would be one of the general skills. I think I'd like a frenzy on this guy actually to go with the piling on and the tackles. I know he wouldn't have juggernaut, so you know there would be the odd player where he wouldn't get the follow through with his frenzy, but you know he'd still be a really handy player and a good player to have on the line, and to get involved in the mix of things, in you know, all this sort of blocking, that kind of thing. You want your piling on guy there. Anyway, let's go on to our next guy, our next Chaos Warrior, final Chaos Warrior. Quick look at him. We're opening up here. You can see he's got a couple of skills to go. He's got the strength, he's got a guard. So I have taken guard early on one of these guys, not first skill. I like to get the block in, and then I've took a guard early on at least one of them, and that's why he's not been as fast at leveling up. You can see he's, you know, he's a good 40 odd points behind some of the Chaos Warriors. So, you know, and it's with taking guard and then getting the strength. The strength comes in so useful though. You're not going to turn it down on any of these guys. Brilliant to have an extra strength on one of your Chaos Warriors. It's like having another big guy in the team. It's, you know, same strength as a Mino. You know, with him having the extra strength there, I'd be looking at putting tentacles on this guy, and probably stand firm is his final 2 skills. Alright, let's go on to our beastmen, and we've got quite a few. We've got a nice bit of variety there, and I think that's what's so good about the team. Your Chaos team, you do want some killers in there. You know, they are vital to have some Chaos, you know, some beastmen killers. It looks like we've got a few of them. Anyway, here we go. Let's look at our first beastman, and he's got pass. So I've got a double on this guy. So I've given him pass, I've given him extra arms. I mean, he's agility 3, but he gets a chance to re-roll a pass here. which is really useful. He's got extra arms, so he's got a better chance of picking the ball up and also catching and intercepting. And I think I prefer this mutation than taking sure hands as a first skill on my beastman. You know, if you are creating a ball carrier, I'm surprised I've not taken dodge there as his first double. But I've obviously wanted to create a sort of ball carrier stroke passer, you know, bit of a quarterback style player, and then he's got extra strength, which makes him really good at that. Makes him harder to get the ball off. He's got the extra strength, so you put him into areas to aid other players as well when he's not carrying the ball. Make plenty of blocks with him. He's got the horns also, hasn't he? So, you know, he's a really cool player. Then they've got the block just to shore him up a little bit, to make him that harder to knock down, injure, that type of thing. You've got to get the block on there sooner or later, haven't you, on these guys? And I think you can probably get away with not taking it as early on some of your beastmen. I think you'd need to get it quickly as possible on you and your Chaos Warriors. And you know, your beastmen, you can probably, you know, put it on some of them but not all of them. You're not going to be getting, you know, tons and tons of 2-die blocks. You know, your Chaos Warriors are going to be doing the most of that, plus your beastman maybe that's doing your blitz action, that sort of thing. And then if you can get this guy into contact with someone that doesn't move away, then, you know, that's when the block does come in handy. But like I said before, this guy's a bit more of a carrier, so that's been put in there a little bit later on. And then I've gone strong arm. He's got access to your general, your strength, your mutation. So these guys are just amazing. They really are so good. And just with armor rate, compared to some of the armor rates in the other teams, they're a lot more sturdy. They seem a lot harder to injure, even though they have got the same armor value. They just seem to be a lot more. You know, it's not based on the team. It's just or the player. I mean, it can't be, but some of your armor 8 just seem a lot easier to injure than these guys for some reason. And you know, it comes in with this Chaos team. You know, you don't sort of seem to suffer that many injuries with your beastmen, and they are your weakest armor value in the side. But anyway, he's got strong arm to go with his pass. So as you see, this one gives him an extra 1 to the dice when he passes short to long or bomb range, so that comes in really useful. He has got some guys here that he can pass to that have got agility for in the team, some good you know, players that have got the, you know, ability to catch the ball. So you know, it's another way to develop your Chaos side. To have a passer in there is a pretty good option on at least one of your players. You know what I mean? A lot of people will just probably go the extra arms and do a running game. I can understand that, but if you get a few agility 4s in to go with the you know, a passer, then you've got another option and you've got another way, and you've got an escape route that you probably didn't have before. If you're getting surrounded, if you're getting closed down, that type of thing. On his final skill here, I'd probably go short hands. Just to make him the ultimate sort of ball carrier there. Stroke quarterback, stroke thrower, movement 6, not shabby, strength 4, brilliant. So I mean, he'd be a really, really handy ball carrier player. Let's go on to our next beastman. And here you see I've got an agility guy, and I've developed him you know, with a block first skill, and then I've got a double and they have. See, I've gone a little bit different with this guy. This is the normal route I would take on my beastmen after I've got some of them that can pass the ball. A lot of, I've developed other sides and I've probably not put a passer in there, so I can't say that I always go that way, but I tend to go with the dodge. Get some dodging on your beastman, on your chaos warrior, makes them a harder team, makes them a tougher side. Your opponents need your tackle, need the pals, so it does really aid your team. It makes them stronger. And then I've got two heads. As I said before, it goes really well with the dodge, as +1 to all dodge rolls. So you get a dodge and then you get two heads. Really, really good. You've got an agility-based sort of player there. Then in your side, that is sort of rolling a 2+ in the majority of his dodges, and then it aids him going sort of doing the 67%ers as well, that sort of thing, is because of this two heads. You're not sort of looking at a 3+, you can be looking at a 2+. I mean, especially when you get this roll. I mean, having the dodge and then having the two heads and then getting agility, it's like a dream come true for this guy, isn't it? And it's made him so much more useful, made him a really, really good player. Fantastic player. If you've got a dodge, two heads, agility beastman, or a pestigore, they do a lot of the work, they do a lot of the ball carrying. They really, really are vital on a sort of slow and mobile team to get some of you guys levelled up like this. Fantastic to have. Then I've gone to tackle. Not so sure about that one. It's not a bad skill to take, but with the dodge and two heads, it's tough to say what to do there, really. I mean, you can look at giving him maybe big hand, or something along them lines, to aid him, going getting the ball, that type of thing. He's sort of developing into that sort of player that can go into a group of enemies, get the ball and then get away, utilise all those skills that he's got there. So I mean, tackle, I'm not so sure. I think I could have made him a bit stronger there with his agility type skills. But I'm sure I've got plenty of tackle in the team. I mean, if we go back out there, you can see I've got 4. So it does come in handy having an extra there, 5 tackles on the side. So it's not a bad one at all. I could put a sort of guard on him too. His final skill. Final skill there. I think we're lacking guard in the team, so I'll probably go guard on this guy, because he's going to sort of, he'll aid the team a little bit more. He's got 4 or 5 really good skills already, so let's look at aiding the team as well as being a good player. He's gonna be a vital team player as well. And let's go to our next guy. And then you've got block, claw, mighty blow, tackle, jump up. There you go. There's your claw palm Eastman. He's got the rolls that you want. He's got 1 to go. So you stick a guard on him there. You could stick there's a few strengths that you could put on him there, isn't there? Depending what sort of rolls you get. I mean, if you got this guy, characteristic level up, I mean, all your beastmen, I think, you can look at movement, you can look at strength, most definitely agility, and you can also look at armor just to make them, an armor 9 to go with your chaos, to go with your minor. So I think you can look at all those skills on your characteristics You know, and I don't think any of them would be wasteful on these chaps. If it was a multiplayer team, I'd develop them a little bit different. I probably would go armour on a multiplayer side over movement. But with it being the AI, I'd probably go movement before armour. And you know, strength and agility, no brainer. There we go. That's your style. That's your star beastman. That's your killer beastman. That's the roles everyone wants to get. And in that order, it's really, really good to get the double there after the tackle and get the jump up. So I've missed out there, haven't I? It's piling on would be his last skill. I thought he'd already got it, but he hasn't. So you want to go, I want to go piling on. So I've got the jump up there. Brilliant to get. I know then now that he's piling on and he's his last skill. Then he is the ultimate beastman. And then let's look at our next guy. Again, I've got guard on this beastman here. He's got the same set of skills, but I've gone with guard due to having very few guarders in the team. And you need that in both your multiplayer and your versus AI teams. You do need some guard in there. I know this team is lacking it, so you can see there I've been putting it on a few players towards the end there. And then we've got our next beastman. Let's open him up, see the choices here. So yeah, I put a guard on this guy earlier on. So yeah, I have sort of tried to take that away. I mean, I've probably been facing a few dwarf teams here on something along them lines, and you know, they got access to the sort of guard stamp firm very early on. We've already having tackle and you know block, those sort of things. And I've gone to dodge two heads, so I've got the double dodge, and I've decided rather than sort of develop him into an aggressive player, I've gone two heads again. I think there I've already got a few agility style players, and I should have probably just given him the dodge and then gone mighty blow claw on this guy, and then finish him off, you know, with a tackle, something along them lines. And a guard. Well, he's got guard, sorry, so I'll go tackle, claw, mighty blow to finish this guy off. We're already having a few players there that can do the ball carrying and the chasing down the ball, you know, that type of thing. And then we've got another guy here. Let's open him up, check him out. He's got a minus armour value here. And you know, I think he's probably worth recreating. I've already got an extra arms guy. I don't really need this fella, and he's not really you know, he could be like a substitute quarterback, but with him having a minus armour, he's less effective. He can still do his 2 die blitz with the horns, but he's not got a mighty blow, he's not got claw. I've given him kick as well, which is a useful skill to take on one of your beastmen. So he's a bit of a jack of all trades, and I've been sort of, you know, shoved the guard on him, I've shoved the kick on him, and I've shoved an extra arms on him. So he's not sort of created in one specific thing in mind, but I've got a few things in mind for him and sort of developed him that way. But with the injury, I think he's a prime candidate to get fired there and then make someone new. And you see I've got a few low level beastmen there, and I've got another player here which just sort of confirms, you know, what decision I made there about the extra arms guy there that I've just seen before him, about booting him out of the team and then going for a killer, because I've got another agility 4 dodger here, and you know, if anything, he's the one that's going to have extra arms, 2 heads, that type of thing. So we'd want another 2 killers at least here with these 2 players, and then we can look at making another agility guy, and then we'd have, you know, we'd have sort of 3 to 4 agility based beastmen, and then we'd have 4 killers, which would be a really strong team, a really good team. Let's go to the club. I've got base stand on this team. Not a bad one to take, but we're not having any frenzy in the team. I'm not going to be doing as much surfing as I'd probably like to, and I think this team is lacking that sort of those sort of skill sets. I think I've gone with a sort of a really sort of agility base side here, compared to what a lot of Chaos teams are created like. We've had just you know, tons and tons of Beastmen killers, Chaos Warrior killers, and you know, is something like soft turf more useful for this team than, you know, a base stand would be. I don't know. I mean, it's debatable there, isn't it? Let me know what you think. If you get a chance and read, you know, look at the video, you can give us a bit of feedback. I want to take a second, let us know what you think about the team. Would you go that way? Have I gone the wrong way with having too many players that, you know, 2-head dodges, that type of thing? And there's the record: 47 wins, 1 draw. You know, 24 kills, not shabby. Casualties, you know, so you can see there, they still scored above, you know, they're going at a rate of above 2 per game, which is about bog standard for your Chaos team. They're going to start picking up a lot more injuries, a lot more kills from the games now, with having the Mighty Blow Claw on so many players. And as a first Chaos team, I think it's pretty good. I have to say, I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to showcase one of my multiplayer Chaos teams next. So, you know, you can see the difference in the few choices I've made in respect of the actual team itself. So check that video out, and I hope you're enjoying them, guys, and take care. See you soon.